Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome on to Arsenal Fan TV, and it's really hard trying to talk about this result from Arsenal tonight. Conceded 3 goals against an Anderlecht side that we should have comfortably beaten after being 3-0 up after 60 minutes. It's really frustrating tonight, really frustrating. And what worries me most about this result is the mental effect it's going to have on the players going into the games against Swansea and United most notably, and as well as Borussia Dortmund. And I think this game has really put the group beyond doubt. It does look like we're going to qualify, so that's one positive we can take from tonight. But then again, I really wanted us to finish first in this group, and to be fair, I think we really surrendered the group when we lost 2-0 in Dortmund a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago in fact. Time's absolutely flying at the moment. But this result tonight has put the group beyond doubt. It looks like Dortmund will be finishing top if it's not for a massive upset. We play them at home in a few weeks, and I would have loved us to have gone in that game with something at stake, like, being top of the group. But their goal difference is so superior to us, you can't see them dropping a lot of points, and we just don't look at the same level that they did against Galatasaray tonight. But them beating them 4-1, and although they're not doing so well in the Bundesliga, they're doing incredibly well in the Champions League, and it's just kind of written that they're going to get top spot. And we kind of deserve to get second after what's gone on tonight. And you've got to say that given the way Anderlecht have played against us in our 2 fixtures against them, they more than deserved a point from those 2 games. In fact, you could argue that they wanted more. The fight from them tonight was absolutely superb. Their fans were superb, and I thought they put in a really resilient performance. They could have even won the game. I thought even when they were losing 3-0 that they were incredibly resilient. They played well throughout the whole course of the game, and a lot of credit has to go their way. So fair play to Anderlecht, had a very good performance, and they're worthy of their point in this one. But looking at Arsenal, lots of frailties today, especially the defence, as I've already mentioned. Monreal was found out, giving away the penalty as well. Really frustrating to see from him after he's had a couple of really, well, not solid, but reassuring performances from him. And it worries me going into that game against Swansea because he just, when he's coming up against someone like Bonnie, he couldn't handle the players that they had tonight. And that, with all credit to Monreal, he was superb against Burnley. This could just be a blip, but you've got to say he's a left back, not a centre back. He shouldn't be playing in his position. And I think against Swansea, we've got to play Chambers there. We just have to. It's just playing Monreal and Mertesacker together just isn't working as a partnership. Chambers and Mertesacker arguably is something that could be built on. Thank God we've got Koscielny coming back after the international break. I also think it's fair that we give Bellerin a chance at some point. But this defence can't be persisted with. It is absolute dross. And Mertesacker is another one who looks absolutely lost when he hasn't got pace beside him. I think he really misses Koscielny. Like I said, it's a yin and yang kind of thing there. Those two need each other. Koscielny, I think, I really hope people understand how underrated he is at the moment, because he basically is the Arsenal defence. He is an absolutely magnificent defender, and we look lost without him at the moment. I can't wait until we've got Koscielny back in the team. Anyway, regarding the performance from our side, I thought we started the game fairly well. Anderlecht as well. I thought every time they went forward, they looked very menacing. They were cutting through our defence incredibly easily, which was a concern, but Szczesny made some good saves, kept us in the game, and we looked comfortable after about 10-15 minutes. We really grew into the game, and we looked good on the ball. We saw Arteta start alongside Aaron Ramsey in the 4-2-3-1. Those two starting in the pivot. That's something that I've wanted to see for a while now. I thought it worked to good effect. I thought Arteta certainly had a good game. He looked a lot more level-headed than Flamini does, and I think that was more noticeable when Arteta came off for Flamini in the latter stages of the game. But we got our first goal through a penalty, which was really well won by Danny Welbeck. Running into the box, was brought down by the Anderlecht defender. Lovely, cool penalty taken by Mikel Arteta to make it 1-0. And it looked from there on in we would go on to win this game comfortably. And it looked even more like that when we got a second goal. Excellent work by Alexis Sanchez. The ball going into the wall from a free kick, and then using pure instinct to hit it first time on the volley into the back of the net. I can't tell you how good that goal was to watch live. Just seeing the ball hit the wall, it just absolutely ripple apart, and then to see it fire through the Anderlecht defenders into the back of net. Superb instinct goal by Alexis Sanchez to make it 2-0. And we go into half-time, 2-0, the game's looking very comfortable, and you couldn't even picture that we'd conceded this, because we looked so on top of the game. Anderlecht, I think we'd soaked up their pressure really well, and we looked like the only ones who would go on to score more. And that was proven when we scored a third goal. Lovely individual goal by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who had a superb evening, cutting in on the left-hand side, taking it past their defender, leaving him for dead, and slotting it into the back of the goal to make it 3-0. And it looked like from then that we could go on to win it 4-5-0. But unfortunately, lacklustre piece of defending from Arsenal, and we conceded in this one, which just, it looked like a consolation at the time. but then we went on to concede a penalty and it got to 3-2, and all of these goals shouldn't have occurred. Monreal was at fault for the penalty, bringing the guy down. The first goal as well, our defence just absolutely went to pieces. I thought Callum Chambers was kind of ripped apart, but then again, I thought he had another fairly solid performance. I thought Mertesacker was kind of the guilty one there. He is getting beaten for pace a lot of the time at the moment, and again, that brings me back to my point that he needs someone with pace like Laurent Koscielny alongside him. Unfortunately, Monreal can't really provide that. But again, that's not down to him. He's not a centre-back, he is a left-back. And then conceding the third goal, it's just so depressing, so absolutely crushing, and the way it was allowed to happen, ball just floated into the back of the net. Great header by, I think it was, I can't quite remember the guy's name, Mitrovic, I think that's what it was, but a really good header. I know it's been by the number 45 anyway, but to make it 3-0, absolutely superb fight back from Anderlecht to get a point out of this game. Got to say, they deserve it, but like I said, it worries me the mental effect that this is going to have going into some big games we've got. We've got to win against Swansea now. We've got to win against United. In my opinion, I think it's really crucial that we make a statement and beat United in that game. But it's really poor from us tonight. You wouldn't have expected that, not from this Arsenal team. And looking at some of the players that came on, I mean, Rosicky was very woeful when he came on, as was Podolski. Flamini just looks absolutely reckless. I think it's fair to say that he is past his sell-by date at the moment. He just looked woeful. But I think that it's hard to say, are there any positive we can take from tonight? Chamberlain was superb. It was great to see him getting on the scoreboard. Sanchez was his usual self, magnificent, but he faded off a little bit in the second half. Arteta, I thought he had a good game. I thought he was probably one of our best players, which really says a lot about the Arsenal team tonight. But apart from that, I can't really think of any. It does look like we're going to be qualifying, which is certainly one of the biggest positives we can take from this. But it is frustrating knowing that it's going to be very difficult for us to get top spot, which realistically we're not really going to be getting in this group. But yeah, anyway, guys, those have been my thoughts on Arsenal's 3-3 draw with Anderlecht. Just reading that back to myself, I can't believe that after being 3-0 up, you would have thought it from an Arsenal team about 4 or 5 years ago when we had the likes of Sebastian Scolacci, Johan de Jure in the team. But not being able to beat Anderlecht at home when we got a 3-0 lead, it concerns me quite a bit. But anyway, guys, those have been my thoughts on Arsenal's game against Anderlecht this evening. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, rating, subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game, and as always, thank you for watching, guys.